Sunday, March 22nd, 2020. I figured today we want to talk about how to get or provide better experiences to folks that are working from home that are doing remote work. I think one of the things I want to point out is I think if you have to work from home, and most of us have to do that today, you want to find one is location. Now, location is key. Why? Why is location key? Because location tells you, one, are you able to focus? Are you able to do your work in a specific way that doesn't interrupt you? So, oftentimes we have kids at home, dogs at home, so we don't have the luxury of that. So we will get interrupted. In this instance, I'm in my dining area. Real simple. I'm sitting right beside me is the window, so I get the light coming in. Now I am having an extra light in front of me to kind of seeing, that way you can see me clearly. So what happens if I don't have this light? Let's take a look. So without the extra lights that I have, now I don't turn on the main light that's above me. I have my extra key light, what we call key light, and this is for shooting purposes. It lights me up. So in this instance, you can see, this is natural lighting from the outside coming in. I can see some shadow. Now this does work as well for some of you that does not have an extra lights, what we call key light. This works, right? So finding location with the natural light works really well. One thing do point out is that as the light changes, when clouds comes in, you will see, your audience will get to see, or people, in your meeting will see the change in lighting. It maybe go darker or brighter. Now, we don't want to be sitting in front of the light. Now, let me show you what this looks like if I'm sitting in front of the light. Now, if you're in front of the light like this, you can see that the behind you, the brightness takes over. You get really dark, so you can't really see the actual person itself. So this is not a good situation or good location for you. You want to be sitting where the light is hitting on your face so people can see you and not behind you. Now, if you're in this situation, you want to have an extra light. Let me turn on that light and see the difference. Now, this is the difference it is looking like right now, right? So you can definitely clearly see me. The other thing that you want to worry about is audio. So in this room, you could probably hear some echo. So you want to be aware that you are clear enough so people can hear you. Now, if you can, I'll probably find a spot that's either in an office somewhere. The other thing to do is to find a location inside your house. So there's multiple places you can do it. You can do it in your living room. In this instance, I'll show you my living room. You can do it on the couch if that is more comfortable to you. But I usually don't like sitting on the couch because my back hurts. The other part is that if you are in a space where there may be a lot of sound coming to you, for example, if you're near the kitchen, there might be appliance that's running. So that could also ruin the effect that you're providing for people that are watching or interacting with you. Let's take a look at what my office looks like. So the office doesn't have to be fancy. Mine is not. It is just purely a small room. So real simple. This is a really small space. Let me flip this around. So my desk, you can tell, that's where I work. Real simple. It's right there on my computer. And it's just this. It's a really small space. Now this room is actually not just my office, but we use it for storage as well. So what did I do? When I have my camera this way, usually this is where I'm sitting when I'm doing remote work in front of my computer. And that's what usually, what the camera I use is this guy right here, right? That's a real simple camera that I use for teleconferencing, for Zoom purposes. But if you don't want people to see clutters in your room, do this. I have a curtain back here that hides. It's a mess, right? Right there. So I just hide it out. Real simple doing that. So those a couple of things that I do when it comes to location. The other thing that I stress about is lighting, making sure that you have lights as you turn around. As you can see with the lights on the side, I look way better. If it's in front of me, it might be too bright, right? So think about things like that. Audio is definitely the next thing that you want to worry about. So those are a couple key things when it comes to location and audio. You want to make sure people can hear you properly, because you want to provide what we call the best interaction as possible, since you cannot be face to face today. So the other thing that I would want to talk about is using tools. There are multiple tools that you can use today. Zoom, for that matter. So Zoom allows you to use that. So my hand's getting tired. I'm going to put this on a stand. Hang on. One of the tools that I would recommend using today is Zoom. Zoom is one of those that, in my mind, has served my post really well. I know there is a new thing called Microsoft Teams. It has a lot, I would say, newer features. Allows you to blur the background. I really like that. I haven't actually tested those things out. But when you are using tools, be sure to go into your settings and play around with it. There are things in there that you can do to enable and make sure that you are providing the best interaction possible. So in Zoom, when you go to settings, go test out your camera, test out what it looks like, test out your lighting to find the right things for you, and then also test out audio. Audio quality is, again, key. You don't want to do this, in my mind, the effect of having a single point of view or single lens into a big boardroom doesn't really work as well. One, your audio is cutting, it's hard to hear people that are in the back of the room. The other thing is that, you may have chatter in the background, so don't have too many people talking at the same time. I would say have one-on-one. Make it like a one-on-one. One view per person, if at all possible. So you are working in a team. Everybody have their own view, have their own single lens, for example. So everybody have their own camera. Since everybody's remote today, make sure everybody's doing the same thing, right? That way, I think it's more easier for us to interact, because when we interact, it's usually one-to-one. So we can see people's facial expression and things like that. So those are the key things to do. Location, audio, surroundings, tools to use, settings, what else? If you're working in teams, again, how you communicate. When we are working together, for example, oftentimes we have this ability to turn around easily to talk to each other. So you don't have to turn on and off communication, right? Now that we're remote, we're having to do that. So one way to do it is either have that camera turned on all the time, right? Or set a specific cadence in terms of, in a day, you're going to be, X number, every 3 hours or 2 hours, you are connecting, you are providing information with each other. Do that in a set cadence. So that's the other thing. The other one that I would think of is interruptions that you have if you are, offline. For example, on the phones, when people can't see you, everybody's talking at the same time. Find ways to better communicate. Find ways to better interact with each other. One of the things as a Scrum Master that I've done in the past is provided what we call a talking stick. Whoever has the talking stick gets to talk. Now, since we can't do this virtually, you probably want to designate somebody to say, okay, whose turn is it? Now, it could be as simple as raising your hands, but it's hard to see. So have somebody play the role of the facilitator, facilitating the meeting events, for example, and that will make it go a lot easier. So that's it. Hopefully that helps. It'll make it easier for every one of us and provide a much better experience for those that are doing remote for the first time. Bye.